What's up, peoples? What's up, peoples? What's up, peoples? It is your boy MM2K back again with another fiery episode of SSC Podcast. Before we go any further, let me introduce to you the co-hostess with the mostest, Project Storm. Project Storm, how you doing today, my good brother?
Hey, yo, I'm doing pretty good. I don't know how I feel about the co-hostess though, man. We might have to change that. I mean, my question to you is, what are you trying to say out here, man? I let it slide like 3 or 4 times. I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about it yet, man. The co-host with the most.
We both co-host. When you doing the dual joint, you co-host it together.
Yeah, but man. Co-hostess though, man. Hostess though.
The hostess? No, ain't that? Yeah, ain't that the
hostess? Hey, is something else. Yeah, man. Nah, man. So you see what I'm saying, right? You see how we have to work on that, right?
Hey, look, he's still trying to beat me up from last week, man. Uncle. I call Uncle, man. It's my brother.
Hey, man, listen, y'all. We always at odds behind the scenes, man. This is nothing new. We're just bringing it out a little bit more live for y'all.
They ain't
What's
ready
up,
for
man?
it.
What's up?
They're not ready for it, man. We can't do it back-to-back weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no. This is gonna be a calm, peaceful, smooth riding, free flowing show, man. I'm ready for it.
Let me not be toxic with you. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be toxic.
Don't be toxic. You don't want the toxicity, man. You don't want any of that. We had enough toxicity, man. I'm telling you, this right here was one of the best weeks when it comes to just all around content, man. Various diverse content.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I got to throw some of it out there later on as we get rolling. But let's go ahead and do what we do, man. The intro, pay the bills, and all that stuff. Whatever.
Yes, sir.
Like to do.
You ain't never lied. We need to get to it because we got a lot to cover today. And I know my brother Storm is on a tight schedule. When duty calls, man. So we got to get through all this stuff. We got to be timely today. All right, y'all. So first and foremost, let's pay the bills. Of course, this is SSC Podcast. I almost forgot there. This is SSC Podcast. We air this every Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This show is hosted by my brother Project Storm and myself, MM2K. We air this show every Wednesday again on this channel. All right, next up, which is coming back tomorrow off of its long hiatus, its spring hiatus, is The Commission. That is the podcast where it is hosted by Project Storm, Snow Bunny Gaming, myself, and Tron of the Sick Humor and King Thrash Roundtable Podcast. We are now going to be enlightened by a special guest, and we're going to let them know now. That special guest is none other than the good brother Proper's Place. Woo! He's going to be on The Commission tomorrow. We're going to be talking all things gaming. That airs 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every Thursday, well, not every Thursday. We still got to work out the frequency. We'll get back to you that. But it's going to air tomorrow, 8 p.m. on the MM2K Videos channel. So definitely look out for that. Then Saturday is the show that is for you. All these shows are for you, but this one's really for you. That is SML Podcast. That is the show that is hosted by Project Storm and myself. That airs every Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is the interactive show where you can call in, leave viewer mail, and all that good stuff. We talk, a lot of Stadia, but we talk everything game in there as well. Last but not least, well, I don't want to say last because Storm can give you information on something new that's coming abroad. But on Sundays, we have Yang Meets Yang of Gaming. Now, that's going on hiatus for a few weeks. But Yang Meets Yang of Gaming is normally Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's going on a hiatus. Look for Yang Meets Yang of Gaming. Catch up with Project Storm, Snow Bunny Gaming, or PNTS Network to know when that's coming.
Rome Rush.
Rome Rush. My bad. My good brother. My homeboy, Rome Rush. Yes, absolutely. Now, Storm, there's another show on the horizon. You cooking up something with one of our other brothers, man. Would you like to let people know about that show?
No. The answer is just simply negative. Hey, look, y'all know, man, we always got some. I tell you what, man, for the people who really want that real content, you know what I'm saying? Yes. That straight up, no BS content, man.
Yes.
Like we got something, me and my bro got something brewing up. And I'm not talking about MM2K, y'all. You'll see real soon. And I also have some things coming for y'all myself. And I don't want to jump too far ahead, but I'm gonna start doing what I said I was going to do last year. You know what I mean? I'm going to actually start turning it up in a way that can make, just put things out there in a more informative matter for you all as gamers. That's all. So Stay tuned for that in the near future. I'll just say that much.
Absolutely. Hey, so that's it with all the content for PNTS Network. And we got a lot of surprises for y'all. So definitely stay tuned. We just, we got some good people working on some good stuff. We just kind of got our wires crossed over something. We had to say, nah.
Yeah, because hey, look, we were gonna do something tomorrow. We were gonna do a special episode tomorrow, man.
Yeah, that too.
But because we got the commission going on, y'all. So everything conflicts happen. So this is why Absolutely. When we push times back and we push dates back and stuff like that, it's because we want to make sure that we're not conflicting. Other news might drop, and we try to be considerate of other content creators. Sometimes we do a lot of things, a lot of finagling behind the scenes. So that's what it comes down to, y'all. At times,
it's a lot of hard work. Yeah, definitely. Man. Don't think that we just sleeping and then we just, somebody throws water on us and we're like, oh, we forgot, we got to do this. No,
that happened once or twice, though. That has happened once or twice.
That is true.
Especially when it comes to Saturday mornings, man.
Hey, look, hey, man. Between the old Milwaukee rush and the chicken bone rush, you never know what's going to happen Saturday morning, man. It's all right though.
You just don't in the Ruth Chris.
In the Ruth Chris, yeah, exactly. Storm, let the good people know. I know you've been playing just a few games. Let the good people know just some of the few games that you've been playing, brother.
Hey, look, I tell you what, this week right here, you all will be surprised to know I got it in, right. I played a lot of games, but I also watched more content. I watched more content than gameplay time, I think, this week, man. I've been a part of more content this week. So, forgive me. Now, I still got it in, though. I was on that Ease 8. I was on that Ease 8 right before the live stream. I've tweeted it out on Twitter, y'all. It's part 2 of the gameplay that first dropped out there. Amazing game. If there's latency at all, I need somebody to count that up, man. I need you to count. Give me the milliseconds and all that stuff of latency that you feel in Ease 8. I felt none, y'all. You talking about native PC, native console feeling. That's what that game feels like to play. It's beautiful. It's ridiculous. I want to jump back in, man. I will be jumping back into that. So I played a little bit of Dirt 5 on the PC. Played a little bit of Dirt 5 on the Series X. Played a little bit of I was on Luna messing around playing Watch Dogs and some other games recently. Geforce Now, same thing. Cyberpunk. Watch Dogs, and I was on Luna. Also, I played. What the hell is the name of the game, man? It's this space game that Ubisoft recently put out, Atlas or something like that. Battle for Atlas, Starlink Battle for Atlas. Okay. Yeah, Starlink. Starlink is a game that people are sleeping on out here. I don't know what do y'all know about that Starlink? First of all, Battle for Atlas, man, it's dope. I was playing that on Luna, and I played. Man, hey, Moss, I got it in. I didn't think I played that much, but bro, I was playing some games. Of course, on Stadia, Destiny 2, Division 2, Cyberpunk, Shadow the Tomb Raider, Formula 1 2020, man, PUBG. Shout out to Clive Illenden, man. Clive Clive,
Don't
Mars, you
drink.
got me twisting it up now. Clive Illenden, man. I say Illenden, all right?
Mm-hmm.
The homie Clive, Lord Kinzel, that's who was with me last night as we rocked out and got that chicken dinner, y'all.
That was
First
dope.
game we went in. I'm talking about we're killing everything moving, y'all. Listen to this right here, right? Clive hits me up in the chat. I'm just doing my thing, live streaming like I always do, just showing people negative latency on Stadia and all that stuff. And then Clive says, yo, you trying to run that duo? And now it was funny because I was already thinking it, I was already thinking like, yo, I should get Clive in here. That'd be fun as hell. But he must have read the frequency or whatever and sent me the, the invite. And we got together, ran the first game. I'm taking everything out. Cloud. I'm thinking Cloud because Cloud Gaming is so damn dope, man. But Clive had the DBS shotgun or whatever. That's his favorite weapon, man.
Okay.
Yeah, that he tends to like the barrel. The DBS, I think it's called Shotty. I don't really pick up the Shotties, but I know that's a monster right there, right? Mm-hmm. The M4, Clive, he was out there just murking everything. I'm like, damn, Clive.
Save some for me.
Yo, I watched Lord Kinzel. I watched the shows, man. I'm in there when you're hiding in the bush and all that stuff. Clive don't be out there getting 10, 15 kills a game, but I'm like, damn, how when he links up with me, before I can finish something, Clive already done, like, he
took it all.
Straight melted it, taking heads off, man. I mean, shooting dead bodies and everything. That's disrespectful out there, bro. But it was so much fun, man. The first game I had like 8 kills. I don't know. Clive had to have like 5+, right? We were just murdering everything. Then the second game, we said, yo, we came in second. I went down. It was the final dude. He dropped me. I was behind the wall trying to survive. Clive hit him with the shotgun. Boom, boom, from across the map, Mm-hmm. I said, damn, Clive, you too far away. Clive ran up on him, got another shot, but I don't know how dude didn't die. And then he took Clive out. We was like, oh, next game. But we said next game, we'll bring it home. We're going to get that dinner. So, real quick, I got to let the people know, man, because we out here playing games. I linked up with Clive, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. So, we jump out. They got the new update, since you don't play pub. You know what I'm saying? They got this update where they have an emergency pickup. It's like this package that you could drop down. It's like a Fulton, or however you say it, balloon that connects to this airplane, right? The airplane to come back and re-pick you up in the middle of the map, bro, in the middle of the match. And drop you off, like just drop you from the plane all over again. It's super dope. So we did that. Crazy. We're flying. We're taking videos and screenshots, man. It was one of the best experiences I've had, man. I just wanted to say all that. Forget everything else that I played because after that, it don't even matter. We got that chicken dinner. And you can find clips of that I just posted on Twitter. It's on my channel. I just dropped that. So, yeah, man, a lot of gaming, bro. Damn, I didn't even think I did that much gaming.
And speaking of that, Clive is in the chat right now. He said, yes, we ripped it up. No, Clive, you ripped it up. He was just hanging around. You know what I'm saying? You know how Storm did. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, man. And I see Project Kill in the business. So if you hear me use terminology like the VEEK, that's short for vehicle. If you hear me say melted, man, Clive melted this month. That means melted, right? Mm-hmm. But we got our own ways for using a certain terminology, only in PUBG. You know what I'm saying? We was out there melting everybody, man.
Shout out to the chat. Hey, before we get started, Storm, can you shout out the chat real quick? And then we're going to get right to it.
All right. From the bottom to the top this time, y'all. From the bottom to the top, we got the Stadia Revolution.
Woo! What's up, Red?
Remember I told y'all about this dude, right? Hey, man, could it be Rev? I don't know. We don't know. We're gonna, I tell you what, though, stay tuned to the streets. Stay tuned to the street. Project Kill, my brother right there, 810.
Hey, Kill.
You might have to call YouTube. You might want to call YouTube. Look, tell him the story, man, real quick if you want to.
No. Me and Kill, right. we were doing a little inside joke in the chat. You missed it. But Kill know what I'm talking about. He'll tell you after the show.
Yeah, I got you. Kill already knows. But check it out, man. I don't know why YouTube didn't make him a mod, though.
Uh-oh.
But anyway, Blake Stadia's in the building,
snap.
Man. I got Blake. Hey, listen, I got Blake Stadia on my list of content creators that I recently watched, y'all. I watched so many of y'all out there, man. I mean, damn, Sounds of Stadia, man. I mean, Clive, of course, with the Resident Evil stream. He had to, he put it in the title, y'all. Something about changing the underwear and all that stuff, man. Y'all know, so check that out, man. Chariot Man Gaming. I don't know if he's in the chat or not, but Chariot Man Gaming, man. John Scar with the giveaway. Chariot Man came out there and just reminded people that Stadia is the best cloud gaming platform, man. RJ Stadia was out there with some good stuff recently, man. I just wrote some things down. Sonny was out there, and now your mama knows, man. So many of you, Ray, everybody is just making this content, man. And I enjoy watching the MM2K. I enjoy
Absolutely.
watching this content, man.
Absolutely.
Yo, that's all I'm saying, man.
Do us a huge favor. We see y'all out there on Twitterverse. Like I said, shout out to the homie Ray Sherrod out there. We got Choose Gaming in the house. Thank you for tweeting us out. The brother John Scars in the house tweeting us out. You know what I'm saying? Like, hit that share button below. Do us a huge favor. Hit that share button below. Tweet this out. And if you opine, please tag it with the hashtag Stadia100. What that does is it allows people that may not be aware of this content, that are interested in looking at Stadia content, specifically content, who want to look at Stadia content, it makes it easier for them to find it. I was doing an exercise yesterday, Storm. I wanted to post a video, but it didn't work too well on my phone. Mm-hmm. I hit hashtag Stadia100. Mm-hmm. And then I went and hit hashtag Stadia. And the difference is starting to become very stark. Like when you hit hashtag Stadia, you know, you'll get a lot of content. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But but then it's cluttered within a lot of conversation. It was like content, conversation. You know what I'm saying? And people were like, I just want to filter it out. But when you do hashtag Stadia100, content. You know what I'm saying? So y'all can just try it out yourselves and see that. I saw a stark contrast. I wanted to do it, but Facebook on my phone wouldn't allow me to do it because the time that they give you to do something like that is so short. But
yo, I feel it, and we will get back to this chat, y'all. If you can't tell what kind of show it's about to be, y'all, I mean, what are you doing right now? What are you had too much old Milwaukee or something in your system? I don't know. So Milwaukee, check this out, y'all. Let me go back through this chat real quick, right? Four Scars Gaming down there. We got Clive, Clive is talking about. Project Storm has broad shoulders to carry it. Yeah, right. Hey, Clive, the video is on my channel, man. People can watch how many shots you was putting down and how impressed and blown away I was at you trying to kill every damn thing, man. So they could go and check it out. But look, but we're gonna move on up, man, because we got a hell of a show pack for y'all. Sean L is in the house. We got who else? We got Ray Sherrod, as usual. The brother, what's going on? Charles
Sneaky Ray.
LCN. Hey, I can't pronounce it. MM always says LQ, whatever, man. But I think it's been the Met. I think it. Hey, bro, I don't know. We're gonna have to just make sure we got it right. Stumper. We're gonna have to make sure we got that one right. You're gonna have to help us out with that one, bro. But in the building, y'all see him. ELCN. You heard is in the house, man. Mikhail Swinney is in the building saying he's glad to be here, man. Mikhail, we're good. Hey, it's good to see you. Good for you to be up in here. We got a hell of a show packed for you today. So much so that I can't even speak, man. I'm excited. I'm overflowing with just like this. The news that I'm hearing, the buzz that I'm feeling right now in the community is just too much to take in. Calvin Morgan
in the house. Good to see you, good brother.
You know what I'm saying? We got these members out here with the green tags. Mikhail, Calvin, Kessel Runner. I can't talk today, y'all. Forget it, man. Kill's gonna be laughing and calling me up later like, man, what the hell are you doing out there, bro? But when I get excited, I can't speak.
Oh, man.
I can't speak, y'all. This is why I do no commentary in my streams and stuff, man. But check this out. Collins Dynasty, Stadia Dosage News. All right. All in the building, y'all. So let's keep on going, man.
Okay. Something ain't right here because I may kill a mod and it ain't showing. Type something in the chat.
YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube be tripping. Yeah, I'm glad. See, I'm it's on them. It's on them. With that being said, hey, we're about to get into the show. You know, like Storm is already excited. Now he's sounding like me, mumbling and stumbling and stuff, right?
It gets like that sometimes, bro. You got I told you, a lot of content, a lot of games out here. Stadia's making moves. Y'all found something out here that's making me excited today, man. We'll get into all of it, though.
Absolutely. What y'all want to do, though, is if you want to catch our attention while we're in the midst of this, you know what I'm saying? You can hit that super chat button. We'll stop in the middle of it. And again, this ain't no cash grab so me and Storm can go to the Sizzler. If you know what I'm saying, use that to catch our attention, and we appreciate the support. The support goes to big initiative, things that you're about to see that we're going to be doing. Not only with Stadia Dosage, PNTS, some great stuff. I think y'all going to be excited about some of this stuff. We're working with some great people to do some great things Also, it goes to initiatives like our homie Doc Dark 1985, him getting his what's it called controller. I was rapping to my brother today. I don't think he'll mind me saying this. I was rapping to my brother today because the challenge was a 60-day challenge, Storm, right? Because I was under the impression that if he signed up under my what's it called, he would get 60 days free. Mm-hmm. But the way it works is he only gets 30 days and then he got to pay for 30 days and then he'll get another 30 days free. I'm like, I ain't never heard of that ish. So I was like, Stadia, what is we doing? So I felt bad. So I went out, reached out to him and I said, bro, I said, Doc, I'm going to pay for your next month. I told you it was a 60-day challenge. He's like, right. No. He's like, bro, I'm digging this. I'll pay for it. I said, what? I said, but I was like, no. My word is my word. Ain't no thing. The supporters are paying for it. Thank y'all so much. I said, nah, we got this. I got you, brother. And he said, okay, sure. And I told him what he needed to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the power of your support.
Just one example, man. We've done giveaways. For the people that don't know, we've done giveaways before. You know what I'm saying? We will do more giveaways in the near future, y'all. Like these things right here, just stay tuned. You're going to know. You're going to know what we're doing with the church's money, man.
Exactly. Absolutely. Collection plate is transparent. It's see-through. You know what I mean? It ain't one of the ones I'm not sitting in the long caddy and with the tinted windows, you know, go like you said, like I said, me and Storm going to the Sizzler. Oh, heck no. But no, thank you guys so much for your support. It's going to worthy causes and just like that. And we were able to make that happen. And look how he's spreading the good word of the platform. This is an Xbox brother. You know what I'm saying? He making the rounds, killing it now, man. So that's important. All right. And also you can join the channel as well. Because directly after this is our after hour show. Now it's going to be a quick one because Storm, you know, he got things he got to do, but we definitely going to have one, and that is something that you get as part of the members program. Also, what you get as part of the member program. See, I ain't want to tell my brother Storm, but I'm about to kick his ass in this 4K business. Psych.
Can't. You can't.
It's impossible. Listen to his voice. He ain't even thinking about me.
It's impossible, bro.
But no, it's nowhere near the quality of his, but it's interesting. Because when I told him what I bought, he was like, oh man, come on, stop being janky now. But I got 4K capture video of Ease 8. It looks good. It looks good. It's not Storm good, but it's good enough. And if you're a member, you not only get to see it on my first look, but directly after my first look, I got it set up to where on Stadia Dosage streams, you can watch more actual gameplay in 4K. So look on the lookout for that today. All right. And with that, let's get the show started, man. Topic number 1. There is a chip shortage, Storm. Or no, Storm. You know what? Let's mix it up a little bit. I don't even care about this damn chip shortage right now. That's not number 1 on the agenda. You know what's number 1 on the agenda, Storm?
Go ahead.
This damn thing with the porting of Stadia games. You know what? You know how we do. Let me show you something.
Here we go.
This is a tweet that I put out here in shock and awe. I couldn't believe myself. I couldn't believe it. When I saw this, I said, what? So our homies, and I put awesome stuff here. I should have put Stadia 100. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. But Mantis Games Deck of Haunts, they're a developer. And they put this ad out here. It says, cloud gaming is the future. Want your game ported to Stadia? We can help. Mantis Games, and it gives you the link. Now, I was busy prepping the show, and I didn't get a chance to take a look at the link. I said, let me take a look at the link. So I took a look at the link. And by my surprise, oh my. Let's just get right to it, people. Let's scroll down to the bitty bottom right here. Let me make this bigger for the people in the back. Let's not even play any game, Storm. Let's make it bigger for the people in the back. I want y'all to look at this right here. It says, we can port your game to Google Stadia. Stadia recently closed their own in-house game studios, and they are now doubling down on porting existing games to their service. Want to take advantage of this offer? We can help. Check out the games we've helped port to Stadia. Now, Storm.
Yo.
I know we've heard it. I heard it. We've heard it. There's government contracts out there. So for the next 87 weeks, we ain't gonna know what's going on. You know, type of stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like I've always said, there is no evidence that Stadia's purpose of shutting down SG&E was the winding down of Stadia retail altogether.
Right.
There's no evidence. What's going to happen in the future, none of us know because we're not in the boardroom. But there is no evidence that supports that. All of the evidence in totality continues to suggest that they are reshifting, reallocating resources so they can do exactly what our good friends at Mantis Games just put here in this quote-unquote circular or this advertisement for work. Now, I get that. Because one of the things that we're hearing now is that it was such a big move, closing down SG&E. And yes, it is. It was a big move. It was a big move, like when Microsoft closed down 90% of its studios and just left Bungie hanging around. Remember all the studios that used to make sports games? They just left Bungie making Halo. There's a lot of big moves. PlayStation made big moves. Nintendo made big moves. Everybody makes big moves. And Xbox made big cuts. But they did it for long-term stability. And they realized that this is a game that you got to be in for the long haul, right? So, with that being said, Storm, with the mounting evidence that this was now done to refocus on, like they said here, this is somebody partnering with Stadia to help port games over. Mm-hmm. Stadia recently closed their own in-house game studios, and they are now doubling down on porting games to the existing service. I can't imagine that this group would be partnering with Stadia to port games over if Stadia didn't get a check of that paragraph and didn't okay it. So my question to you, Storm, is let me stop all the bibble babbling. How big is this statement in the long run as far as people looking at the future prospect of Stadia existence?
As my high school football coach used to say, man, it's freaking huge. Freaking huge.
It's
you know
huge.
What I'm saying? Yo, it's big. And I'm going to tell you why it's big. First of all, before we get into that, though, I remember saying, and the good thing about YouTube is that it records everything we say, man.
The internet doesn't go
out
away.
There for the people so they can go back. Some breadcrumbs can be left behind. I remember saying as soon as that announcement came out, me, Clive, others, so many other people, you know what I'm saying? Yourself, Rev, and others out there that I know for a fact have said this. Though the reshifting of and refocusing and all that stuff. Now, I know that somewhere they put out there, I think somewhere somebody from the Stadia camp even said that that's what part of the plan was going to be, as far as like, you know, now they can focus on utilizing those people or the resources and to helping to bring more games. I think I saw something like that somewhere. I don't know if it was officially from them, but I can't remember. But I do remember me saying, yo, I could clearly see this happening.
Yep.
They're going to focus on bringing more games to the platform because we know with and we talked about the porting process before, how some developers said, yo, it's very simple to port to Stadia, and some had a challenge as well, you know what I mean? But overall, the time frame that we were seeing was less than 6 months, around 6 months or whatever. I remember seeing that out there too when we talked about it. Mm-hmm. But this right here is big because now you're talking about if it's just this one source right here, right? Then there could be multiple. They're reaching out right now, letting people know that they could port games to Stadia. So obviously they had the process down pat. You know what I mean? Now that's from indie games. I don't know if it has anything to do with AAA games, because if you look at the games that they're bringing right there, we will pay attention to those. Nanotel, which John Scar covered so nicely in a recent stream. That's one of the games I said I was interested in when it comes to the typing and all that stuff. I brought up Mavis Beacon teaches typing and all that, right? Which is a typing program, game, or whatever that helps you learn how to type and all that stuff, man. So if you look at these games, and the other one is what? What is that one? The second one starts with an
I
E.
see Epistory and Nanotale.
Yeah, Epistory or whatever. Like those games, right? People might say, "Oh man, well, I never even heard of those games." Doesn't matter. It's about what these people are capable of doing because they've already done it. They've been affiliated and on hands-on with the platform already, right? So this right here says a whole lot, man. It says that this could be the focus. Maybe they let the cat out the bag, or they just clarify what people. And I want to say it like this: the people like myself who I consider myself a common sense thinker, right? I think with common sense. At least I try to in most cases, right? So I said, yo, I could clearly see what they're about to do. They're about to go out there and have those conversations, Hey, whoever, just name a developer that's not on the platform, Activision or whoever, right? So look, we've talked about this, right? Hey, Activision, we freed up, we closed down SG&E because we knew that there was a large demand. They've already been on record saying a lot of developers wanted to come to the platform. They've already had so many hundreds sign up, or even at the start of the Stadia launch or whatever, they were saying how they were overwhelmed by the number of developers that were interested in bringing games to the platform. Now we know this is the truth before the haters could say, "Oh, but Stadia don't have no games." Now we know damn well Stadia have games, y'all. We know they have games now. All you have to do is go in the store and look at what games they have. And if you do a little bit of research, you'll find that more games are on the way, MM2K. Now, so obviously people can't be afraid of Stadia, and they can't be afraid of the porting process and all this stuff that goes along with Linux and everything else, Vulkan and Stadia itself. I mean, this right here is huge from a lot of different angles, man. And the biggest one to me is that the messaging is clear. It's out there. It smacks you in the face like, yo, Stadia is not playing. Like we've been saying, like many of us have been saying, because we could see this happening. Yo, they are about to open the floodgate when it comes to games. Now, we just talked about the 10 indie games that was announced, including Death Carnival and all this stuff. That Death Carnival looking like great, by the way. That's something that I will be on. It looks like my type of game. So, yo, it just makes perfect sense, This is going to be their new focus. It's going to be their new focus. Bringing games, that's what people ask for. That's what the community told them that the platform needed, right? Am I right? Told them time at a time, man, they needed more games. You have to get the games that people want to play. And in order to do that, wouldn't it be smart to reassure the developers or whatever that, hey, we can help you. You don't have to take on this daunting task by yourself in an era where you have to port to 5 or 6 different platforms. We can help you do that. But this is Stadia. We know Stadia. We own Stadia. This is ours. We can help you. Come on over. That's what it feels like to me, man.
Again, none of us are in a boardroom. None of us know what the future beholds. I'm just saying, like, we're just addressing sometimes the uneven lenses that people look at Stadia and people look at other things. And I think what it boils down to, Storm, is that some people are disappointed because they thought Stadia out the box was going to be this. And they put so much high hopes on it. And then they were let down because they inflated their hopes. It's like, remember last year's Storm where there was those leaks about Apex Legends coming to the system, and we just knew it was going to be in the next, what's it called, and that turned out to be false. Or there's many conversations that me and you, Storm, had behind the scenes where we've been talking to other content creators. They swore up and down on sources that XYZ was coming, and come to find out it was nothing that they said. Right. Nothing at all. But somehow, and shout out to Bill and Lloyd for always pointing this out, but somehow that's Stadia's fault. You know what I'm saying? Opposed to us in our naivete, not realizing that, hey, Stadia operates differently. So we're not going to get a jump on what they're trying to do all the time, like how you can with other platforms. They don't have a whole bunch of leaks and holes and stuff like that. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you this, and I couldn't say nothing before. I knew that Xbox was going to have Outriders day and date several days in advance. I already knew it. I can't tell you how, can't tell you where from, but and the person let me know by accident because something that was going on behind the scenes. But yeah, I already knew. There's leaks everywhere with Xbox, PlayStation. We rub elbows, Storm. We rub elbows with the people that have dinner with Yoshida when he was in charge. That talk on the phone with Phil Spencer. It's a leaky faucet over there. Google is aware of that. Phil Harrison, who used to be part of that, the bigger world, is aware of that. Knowing that Google keeps everything close to the vest, this is why you can't get a grip of what they're doing. So what they do is, what we end up doing though, it's a double-edged sword. When you don't put out a whole bunch of information, people do a lot of speculation. But you as the viewer, you got to understand that. When people talking absolutes about little pixie dust of information here and little pixie dust of information here, they don't know what they're talking about because none of us really know. We could just go off of our common sense and facts. And if you're doing both of those, we feel that the most fathomable thing, Storm, is to believe that this platform is going in it for the long term. Will it succeed? We don't know. But all intents and purposes, that's what it appears it's trying to do. If with all that little pixie dust of information that's out there, if you believe the opposite, it's not about trying to close you off from a purchasing decision. But if that little pixie dust of information makes you so fretful or makes you so scared, the best advice I can give you is maybe don't even buy the console. You're gonna be spending too much time like, should I buy this? Let me return it. You're not even gonna enjoy the gaming. So don't even buy the system. I meant not console. Right. Don't even buy the damn system.
I know what you meant.
You know what I mean? But so Storm.
What up?
With that said, there's another article up here. Let me see if I can put it up here. Let me see if I got it.
I just wrote that down. I just wrote down if this mug ever calls. If he refers to the console one more time. The Stadia. I'd rather you say the Stadia. A Stadia.
You know what? I can't front, bro. I get where Rev be coming from. That drives me crazy. That does drive me crazy. I know people don't mean anything by it, but hearing the Stadia just drives me crazy. I don't know why. In the figment of my mind somewhere. Oh, you know what it reminds me of?
What?
The Bears. The Bulls.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that. You know what I'm saying?
Or it reminds me of like Ted Stadia. Remember, there was like Ted Xbox, Ted TEH. It was all over the place. Ted Google's, Ted Sony, and all that. When that was popping off, man. So I don't know. Maybe that's what it is for me. I have no idea. But and Grace even came out. Grace, community manager at Stadia. I told y'all before they came out and just said the Stadia. She even made fun of it because it's like pet peeve for a lot of people.
It is. It's just the way that it comes off. I don't know, but I get it. Most people that do it, they do it unintentionally.
What's worse than that is a Stadia though. On a Stadia, a Stadia though. What?
Yeah, that's that.
Anyway,
it's like fingers on the chalkboard. I don't know why. It ain't got nothing to do with no fanboyism. It's just like, I don't want to hear it. But all right, so there's this other article I got up. I talked about this in a video yesterday, Storm, where again publications are starting to come out. We saw with the Adrian So opinion article, even Screen Rant, who is horrible about getting things right about Stadia and just saying a bunch of crazy off the wall stuff. Even they had a positive article about Stadia Pro. They said Stadia Pro is like one of the best deals in gaming right now. This is VentureBeat via GamesBeat, their GamesBeat section, and their article says Google's killing Stadia Studios may make make cross-play gaming better for everyone. I don't agree with the entire article, but the sentiment that they're getting at is what we just talked about. And the sentiment is, hey, now that Google took its money from having it held up in this first party thing, right? And nobody wanted to see the 150 people go. They even say that in this article. They start off this article that way. But they're saying, let me read it right here. They say, this is why I believe that there will be benefits to Google closing Stadia's development studios by no longer competing with PlayStation, Xbox, And I'm not 100% sure they're no longer competing. I just don't think that they're not worried about the first party game like they are. But no longer competing with PlayStation and Xbox and so on, Stadia can concentrate on licensing third party games and attracting a broader audience, and it gives publishers even more compelling reasons to make their games playable on the cloud. What do you think about that statement?
All right. Now, run it back by me because I was reading the chat real quick. I was definitely looking at what Kessel Runner said real quick, but run that by me one more time.
Well, before we do that, shout out to wow, we getting a whole bunch of old oldies but goodies, the staples of the community. The homie Static Fox with the $5. He says, "Keep up the work, bros. Keep coming with the news." Hey, Static, we got to get on that Division 2. What's up, brother? Hit me up. Yeah. Okay.
And me and Static got on that Destiny 2 recently. You know what I'm saying?
So he on that Destiny 2.
I was on that Mortal Kombat 11. I'm trying to get that Static on that. You know.
Okay.
You know, I got on. You know what? Speaking of that, real quick, y'all, I was surprised to see that I was able to jump into a ranked match like 7-8 times back to back, man, at different hours
with no
of the
delay.
day.
Okay.
And I was able to get matches like it was no problem. I don't know. We'll talk about that later in the future.
Storm,
but anyway,
what game was that though? I'm just interested.
It was Mortal Kombat 11.
Okay. Yep.
The Aftermath version. You know what I'm saying?
We'll talk about that. That's interesting. I definitely want to put a placeholder on that because that's very interesting subject matter. But here's the paragraph. This is why I believe there will be benefits, and this is from VentureBeat. This is why I believe there will be benefits to Google closing Stadia's development studios by no longer competing with PlayStation, Xbox, and so on. Which personally I don't agree with, Storm, but whatever. I think they're talking about as far as first parties are concerned. But by no longer competing with PlayStation, Xbox, and so on, Stadia can concentrate on licensing third-party games and attracting a broader audience. And it gives publishers more compelling reasons to make their games playable on cloud services. What do you think about that?
Absolutely, man. We're already at a place where you got John Justice and others telling us that they're constantly working on improving Stadia, right? As a platform and a service, if that's what people want to call it or whatever, or if that's what it's going to become. You know, it's a platform to me for obvious reasons. But the thing is, it's big. It's big. And I think, again, more people are starting to put one and one together when it comes to this type of, thinking, right? It's good for me to see this because it backs my claims. And it just makes sense. It just makes sense because what if you realize that, hey, Sony is, now there's a rumor out here, for example, about Sony and Epic, right? Like, the PlayStation exclusive is about to come to Epic Game Store. People are talking about exclusivity moving and reshifting and it's just becoming reformatted. You know what I'm saying? You got Xbox and, Phil Spencer has been on record to say how he felt about exclusivity and all that stuff before, man, and with that he'd like to see Game Pass in other platform on other storefronts or platforms or whatever the case might be, right? So if you think about that, I think this is where we're headed to, people. Some might not want to hear that. Some understand. I understand the importance of exclusivity and all that stuff, y'all. But I think the bigger focus should be put on the third-party games because MM2K, they make up the largest part of the whole market. They just do, sales-wise. I mean, you just put out some interesting stuff. I don't know if you're going to break it down in this show. You can stop me but I just checked out what you dropped earlier as far as where a lot of games are being sold, And that right there is how I think it should be because that shows evolution. Now, it's just my opinion, y'all. To me, it shows evolution in gaming. And these developers wanting their game like MLB, that made a lot of noise recently, and it still is. Yeah. MLB 2021 or whatever is going to be on Xbox now, Game Pass day one.
Crazy.
So, this shows that the developers have always been about getting that money and supporting, doing what they have to do because they put a lot of work in. They have to, if you want the very best, if you want these games to go to the future or whatever, then you got to really pay for that. You got to help them, get to that point. Now, certain developers don't deserve it, in my opinion, if they're being lazy, putting out lazy ports and, just trying to do cash grab. God damn it. Why can't I talk today, y'all? Cash grab.
I got to him, yes.
Cash grabs and stuff, right? Yeah. MM2K.
Yeah.
Like, it all makes sense to me, man. I could see this being the future. I don't have a problem with it at all, man, because again, most of us out here, we play third-party games. there's a small percentage in my mind that play exclusive only games. Now, I don't know anybody that skips over a sports game or the latest Call of Duty or PUBG or whatever the case is, MM2K. I know some people have third-party games in their diet. There might be a small percentage that go exclusive only.
Well, Storm, here's the thing. I think what people are forgetting is that we the old guard. You know, me and you, we've been gaming since the early 80s, bro. You know what I'm saying? In our DNA. You said,
since Thomas Edison, man, figured out
exactly.
that light bulb,
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Since the first
we've been
light
gaming
switch
for
was
a
made.
while, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Here's the thing. When what we grew up with, those walls are being torn down. It's like East Berlin versus West Berlin. The walls are being torn down. These new gamers, like my son, shout out to him, had him on an episode of Cloud Gaming Chronicles. You could go watch that episode. You can tell, you can feel the nerd juices running through his brain as he's talking about games. These gamers his age are now getting older. He has a job. Now he can buy games. In a couple of years, he's going to be an adult. And see, what I do is I shotgun raise my kids. What does that mean? I pull out a shotgun and tell you to get the hell out my house when you're 18. No.
Get out.
Get out. Get it up. No, but he's going to be 18. He's going to have his own. And so these kids that are growing up where they are hardware agnostic, they pick up the Xbox and they pick up the PlayStation. They'll play anywhere. There is no fanboy war with these kids. They don't care. They just want to play anywhere they can all the damn time. The way that used to service us, where we go hunker down in the man room, scratching our navel and sniffing it and breaking out a can of old Schlitz malt liquor. You know what I'm saying? Those days is over. Them kids don't do that no more. And we got to get used to the time. So, like Storm said, I keep a book for when I was doing a lot of my crumb side debates and stuff like that. I call it the Console War book, where I kept a note, because I do data analytics too, you know, as part of my, just one of the many hats that I wore. I did data analytics. So I just brought that home, that, you know, a template, brought it home and start plugging numbers into it, where I kept record of sales. 97% of sales in the 8th generation were from third-party games, multiplats. 97%.
Man,
Storm.
That's huge.
But what helps advertise that console is the first-party stuff. That's the gloss on it. Think of it like a car. The thing that makes the car run is the engine, you know, and the struts and all the other stuff. But the coat of paint is the aesthetic. That don't make the car run, no, but that's the aesthetic. That's what kind of, you know, perception-wise gives you value. That's what exclusives do to our generation. You know what I'm saying? It helps shows us value, and then we go and we buy said console, but not with this younger generation, Storm. Like you said, they don't care. They don't care about that. So it's smart for Google. And then look, one last thing, and I'm gonna shut up, Storm. If you look at the most successful, from what we know, the most successful cloud gaming service out there as far as people engaging in it, that would likely go to GFN. That doesn't mean that GFN is making the most money or they got the most committed users, but they, as far as users altogether, whether it's free, when you combine free and the paid for tier, the most successful is GFN. Tell me, what exclusives does GFN have? What's exclusive to GFN that you can't find nowhere else?
I can't think of one.
Nothing. So if Stadia says, look, we got a more secure business model than GFN, we just got to raise engagement, and they're looking across the street at GFN and they looking across the street at Amazon, who's struggling to put one damn game out and keep it out there. They're probably like, well, you know what? Maybe we just get these big ticket games on here and get them on here quick, because it seems to be working for GFN, at least as far as engagement is concerned. So I think this is smart.
I want to throw a bow on that.
Go ahead, brother.
Hey, y'all, do not act like Google can't say, let's write a couple checks, y'all, and lock this down for a year, or that down for a year. Now we are talking about exclusivity, you know, being like put on the back burner or whatever at times, right? But I can see that could still happen. I mean, it could happen. It's happening in gaming right now. But see, the thing I care about is everybody being able to play the games cross-platform. That's what I do care about. Cross
Yeah.
progression, cross-platform play, and all that stuff, man. That makes gaming beautiful, in my opinion, because you see the hype that's generated behind, like with something like a MLB 21 or whatever, man. So that's the type of gamer I am, and that's where I want to see gaming headed.
And the thing that I think is a win-win for Stadia, and again, there's a reason why I kept hammering in on this. The Catherine Hassai interview with Input Magazine, there's a reason why I kept hammering in on this. One reason is that I can speak a little bit freely now. I talked to some people about that interview. Okay? I talked to some people about that interview, and unlike the conception that was out there that, this interview was done without SG&E closing not being in mind, don't fall for that. Okay, that's all I'm going to say right now. What I can say is that that's why in that interview they don't, number one, talk first party.
Yeah.
And two, by them not talking first party, they're talking about Stadia features. We want to see what devs do with the Stadia features. So shout out to John Scar in the chat who said, even, I'm paraphrasing, even though it may not be exclusives that they're heavily working on, you got big ticket multi-plat games that are coming with exclusive features. Now, with that said, Storm, Outriders. Now, there's supposed to be a patch coming for Outriders soon. We'll see. Outriders may have had a rocky launch, but once that's smoothed out on Stadia and people can use that Stream Connect across the board with no problems, like how you see my homie John Scar, you might have seen Bryant Chappelle do. Oh my goodness, that's a big deal, and you can't get that anywhere else, Storm. You can't. So,
yeah, I remember Sonny breaking it down. Shout out to Sunny Cloud Gaming, man. He broke it down as well. It wasn't working. I don't know if it was working right at the time. I think I recall seeing that it wasn't working right at the time, or it was like, I think he said something like it was a little bit of some type of a delay or a slowdown or something that was happening. It was like a slowdown effect. Yeah.
Here's the thing. The biggest thing I think to take from this, Storm. Now, let me ask you one last question before we wrap this up and go to the chip talk. Do you think it's a smart strategy to partner with external people, Storm, like how they're doing with our good friends at Mantis Games? Or do you think they should just stop playing around and absorb Mantis Games? Or is it Mantis Games is like, nah, you ain't absorbing us, but we'll help you out? What do you think is going on here?
I just see it as an overall partnership right now, man.
Yeah.
I think some people believe in what Stadia is, what it's all about. Some developers who have already gotten their hands on it, again, MM2K, I think that they know, they're like, people, y'all don't understand what Stadia is about right now. Y'all don't understand what Google has here. You don't understand where the future of gaming is about to go to. This is important. We're on board. I think it's kind of like that. Like they, because Google, one thing we know is that the Stadia team is out there. They're having conversation. They're meeting with people. They're having discussions with devs and publishers, right? Yep. And if they were smart, that's what they would be doing. They would definitely double down on it. So I think it's just more of like a partnership. I think it's like Google is saying, this is what we could do for you. We could provide this to you, a platform like this that can get your games out there in the hands of more people, played on different devices and all that stuff, right? And then I see the other side being like, hell yeah, we would love to put our game out there to be played on more devices or whatever. It's just going to help us. It's going to get the word out there. You know what I'm saying? Like it just makes sense for them. So Absolutely. That's how I see it, and I think it's like a win-win for both sides.
Yeah, yep. I see it to where, and as I was asking that question, Storm, I was sitting there saying to myself, they probably like, well, I mean, because you got to be honest, when Stadia, I mean, we still are shell shocked by it. When Stadia closed SG&E, I get it. Everybody was like, what's going on? We had conversations like, what's going on? And then I even said, look, I had to have a litmus test with myself, and I had to say, okay, if Stadia does go away, where am I going to go next? I love cloud gaming. I'm going to GFN, and people think that I'm just being tough on GFN. No, it's like if something were to happen and you got to carry the mantle, baby, there's got to be a level of expectation, because what's going to happen is if you can't carry that mantle, which I don't think we're nowhere of threat of needing, but if I'm at GFN, if I'm on the board and I'm like, ooh, if we do become number one, there's a certain expectation that we got to have that cloud gamers have. And how close are we to meeting that expectation? And if you don't meet that expectation, what gamers are going to do is just say, you know what, forget cloud gaming altogether. I'm just going to go back to consoles. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was tough on GFN. And that's why I'm going to remain tough on all of them. I'm tough on all of them.
Yeah, and even though Stadia is number one for me, like all of them are capable. All of them are cloud
they
capable.
are. Absolutely.
Okay, man.
Absolutely.
PS Now to me is my second favorite right now when it comes to reliability.
Bro, I got to get on that, man.
The PS Now has just bumped it up. The only thing is certain games just seem to not run as well as others. Like, and see, that's something that I'm experiencing on my end. That's just on my end, though.
Gotcha.
But I do like the fact that it takes advantage of my RTX 3080, y'all. All that stuff. That hardware acceleration is going to be critical in the future. And Luna, you already seen that Luna can go up to 4K right now.
Ooh,
like you can select 4K on Luna right now, y'all. So it's only a matter of time before, like with that AV1 codec, people, stay tuned with that AV1 codec that we keep talking about. Like that AV1 codec is going to allow them to do some serious things.
Well, not just that, but they, and I'm not sure what Amazon is waiting on. They're probably waiting on the AV1 codec. Oh, dang. I just got a message. We'll talk about that in the after show.
All right.
But the AV1 codec, what was I going to say? The AV1
codec is going to be a beast, man. A lot of companies are implementing it. It's going to be huge for good reason. They are, man.
It's going to be a beast, but the biggest thing is for Luna. See, don't sleep on Luna. I mean, it ain't there yet. Let's not hype it up. We've had some instances to where people, may have tried to hype it up. Let's not hype it up. But but once they uncap that data and it comes through, let the hype be let the hype be natural. Once they uncap that data, Storm, and what you were trying to play is fully supported by the data that they let flow through. Oh, Amazon Luna is going to be a beast. Oh my. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be something.
We know that xCloud, man. We know Microsoft we're talking about. You know they're putting billions into buying things that you never even heard of, companies that you never heard of, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to put billions into their cloud platform or whatever, man. Come on. So it's going to be interesting, but I know one thing, Stadia right now, it's not even funny, y'all. It's not funny what my experience. I did a late night F1 2020 stream, y'all, last night. Just because it was running so damn good, I just had to show it off. Now, there was a part that pissed me off. Like this, like sometimes the cars, man, I had the difficulty on easy, but not the easiest. Like it's on I forgot the number 30 or something like that, difficulty. Right before medium, because then the game just cheats, I think, on medium to high difficulty. But bro, I was so mesmerized, I forgot I was streaming. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So I kept restarting the race because I forgot I was streaming the game, MM2K. It ran so good, it was native PC like performance, y'all. Latency, I know latency. I've been gaming for a long time. I could feel it. I could tell you about it instantly, right? There's no latency, and when there is, I tell people like, oh, what's that right there? That was a little lag spike, a little latency. I'll let you know, but I haven't experienced any when it comes to Stadia, like 98 to 99% of the time. It's crazy on my desktop.
Storm, they don't gotta believe us. I told you, my brother, remember when we was doing this late night SML, my brother came all the way from North Carolina. I bull S y'all not. I BS you not. He was calling me on the phone. I'm like, what's up, bro? What's going on? He said, what are you doing? It's like, I'm getting ready for a show. He's like, asking me these weird questions. I'm like, bro, you all right? Is you being held hostage or something? He's like, open your door. Uh-oh. And there he was standing there. I said, man, he always do that to me. I can't stand when he does that. I said, what are you doing here? Oh, I got to show you something. I was like, what? Showed me his little ring thing where he ordered 3 Stadias and the 3 Stadias was sitting on his porch. He was so excited. And I said, wow. I said, ain't none of my videos change your mind? He said, no, I want to play Cyberpunk. I don't have the resources to get the rig right now, put it together. So I just went and got it on Stadia. I got one and I was excited, bro. And he said, I got a couple more. And he says, it's magical, man. It's like, I forget that I'm playing on a cloud service. I think that I'm playing on an Xbox or a PlayStation. I can't, he's like, it's unbelievable. Dark said the same thing.
Man, I was about to say him and others, man. Look how many new people, check out the new people on Twitter alone, y'all, just search, you know what I'm saying? Google Stadia, whatever. You start to see more and more people talking about Stadia. Like that's just
Absolutely.
something that's a fact, you know, it's just crazy. I mean,
Yep.
all those articles and stuff, all the videos we used to see coming from YouTube at a high clip, you know. And again, I kept telling people that people were taking advantage while it was hot. They were taking
Mm-hmm.
advantage of the negativity while they could, because
Mm-hmm.
eventually it was going to die down. And it's
Yeah.
happening, y'all. It's already happened. There was a
Yep.
massive reduction in the number of trash talking videos when it comes to Google Stadia. You're going to find some out there, but it's
Yeah.
nowhere near as bad.
As bad as
You
what it
get what I'm
was.
saying? Nowhere
I
near
mean,
as bad, because they realize I'm up here telling people that Stadia is trash, but people are seeing gameplay from Project Storm and whoever else in this chat or whoever in this
mm-hmm.
community that's making dope ass content, and they're looking
Stadia
stupid
100.
out here. They're looking
Absolutely.
stupid out here. Stadia 100, yeah, man. They're looking dumb out here.
Yep.
I mean,
Absolutely.
Outriders day and day, even though it has performance issues, you still could play it. But Cyberpunk, that really
Mm-hmm.
kicked them in the teeth right there.
Yeah, that
Immortal
sure
Phoenix
did.
Rising started the whole thing, but Cyberpunk 2077 kicked them in the teeth, man, and left them snaggle. You know,
He said, left them snaggle, left them
left
chiclet
them
teeth,
snaggle.
lucid chiclet
Yeah,
teeth, as we used to call them.
yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So here's my thing. Here's my suggestion, real quick. Mantis Games. Go to Mantis. This is what we should be doing as people that want to spread the good word of Stadia. I know that there's a movement. Bring it to Stadia. Hashtag bring it to Stadia.
Man, in the chat, I don't know if it's true or not. Stop the damn show, man. Look at the chat.
Who we got here in the chat?
Man, see, MM2K is not looking at the chat. Bloody good reviews. You know what I'm saying? He's not looking at the chat, but I'm going to hold him responsible live right now.
Oh, hey, what's up? What is going on? What is going on?
You get what I'm saying?
What
now,
is going on?
Let's go ahead and continue as we were saying.
Bloody
good reviews. Shout out to you. Thanks for joining.
Shout out to you, my good friend. Thank you so much. And look, we would love, I'm just going to put this out here. We would love to chat and talk one-on-one, you know, or two-on-one, just about the experience at a high level. No secrets, none of that crazy stuff going, you know what I'm saying? Just none of that, oh, give us the deepest, darkest secrets. No, we just want to know just some basic things, because the community would like to know. So if you're interested in having just like what we call a high level talk, definitely let us know, man. It'd be a great experience. They also say want to take into account early access games like Baldur's Gate 3. Great point. Absolutely. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, man. And see, that's what I'm talking about, MM. It's just like, so that's why I can't talk, y'all. I get speechless. I stumble. I fumble. This is nothing new. Like, when you play games on Stadia, this is how you feel. Like, raise your hand in the chat, and, you know, I can see you or whatever, right? Raise your hand, though. Put them up, right? If
put
you
a one,
still
put a
get
one in
blown
the
away
chat.
by Stadia. When you play games on Stadia, you still get blown away. Put your hand up. I guarantee you. Let me see who's in this chat right here. About 85% of you will raise your hand, because you know what I'm talking about, man. This right, yo, and it gets me so excited. And shout out to who made that video about PlayStation? Jim Stadia. Was it Jim Stadia?
Yeah, shout out
about
to that.
PS5 and his experience with
that was
PS5.
a hell of a video. Shout out to
Hey,
Jim.
bro, what a great! I watched the whole damn thing, and I just sat in my chair like speechless, bro. I couldn't say, like, it was like, this is how I feel. Now, some people are automatically gonna say, man, Storm, you're lying. You and MM2K are capping, and Jim is capping too, and all this stuff, right? No way you could love Stadia that much. But this is what Stadia and cloud gaming is doing. Mainly Stadia, because, bro, I can go up to 4K 60. All these things are great. Negative latency. This is what I call it, negative latency. Google came up with it first. I remind people this is what they were talking about. Whether some believe in negative latency or not, my experience is equivalent to my RTX 3080 when I'm playing natively on my PC, y'all. It's how does it happen? But anyway, that's a different story.
So, shout out to Bloody Game Reviews. Definitely will be out in touch. Yeah, we just, you know, dynamics like this is what get our juices flowing as a community. And we love to talk to people firsthand instead of doing the speculating. So it'd be a great opportunity. We thank you so much. Thank you for being here first and foremost. I feel honored. I got half of a good eye. So when Storm was like, look and see who's in the chat, I didn't know. He got to call it out for me. He got to put it out for
me. He's on his phone. See, you just heard him say, I just got a message. We'll talk about it in an after show. You know what I'm saying? Normally he's paying attention to Twitter with 15 windows open and all that stuff, right? But I caught it this time, man. It's all good. Thanks to everybody that showed up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that showed up for this one right here. Absolutely. Because it's very important. And it's not over yet. So let's keep on rocking.
No, absolutely. But what I want to say before we close this segment out is I know that there is the Stadia, Bring It to Stadia campaign, right? Mm-hmm. Now that we're empowered with this, thanks to our good friends at Mantis.Games, rather, what y'all need to do, I'm going to drop this link in the chat. Y'all need to take this link. I know it's a little bit of extra work, but it's worth it. Because as a community, let's spread the good word. Don't just go and say, hey, bring it to Stadia, along with hashtag bring it to Stadia, and say, here's somebody that can help you port the game over, and drop this link out here. My friends at Mantis.Games, if you guys got a better link, we'll put that out there. This is a very active community, and we're very engaging, and we're willing to help out however we can. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start, if I see a game that I want to want it brought over to Stadia, I'm not only going to use the hashtag bring it to Stadia, but I'm going to put the link to our good friends, Mantis.Games, and they can get your free quote as they got here on the website. I'm going to put that on there as well and say, hey, and these are some people that can help you. Definitely. And I'm going to tag them in it as well. And I'm going to also put hashtag Stadia 100. Where it applies. But no, definitely. Shout out to our good friends, Mantis.Games, for doing the good work, man. This is a platform that does a lot, that has a lot of potential. Like you guys said, Baldur's Gate 3 in early access. Really not possible anywhere else besides Stadia and PC. And look, we got access to that thing. You know what I mean? That's not common.
It's not, and Stadia makers and other programs like that are not getting enough, like as much shine as they should. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think that is huge. I don't know about the other services or whatever offering something like that. You know, because and see, this is why Rev keeps reminding me. I keep asking Rev every week, y'all. Rev, is Stadia still a platform? Stadia Revolution is like, yes, Storm. This is why, and he breaks it down to remind me, man, because I'm starting to see service. I hear thoughts of games as a service and all that stuff. You know, now that the SG&E move has happened, right? But it still seems like a platform to me, man. That's all I want to put. I just want to say that.
I just kicked over my splitter. Oops. Anyway, but no. With that said, thank you guys for coming through. Bloody good reviews. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. We'll be in touch. It'll be a great sit down. It'll be a lot of fun. So we'll look out for that, guys, and give a round of applause to them. This is great stuff. That's why I said, and it's in the title, positive vibes. We're going to focus more on the positivity. I get there was a lot of bickering about some things, and that's understandable. That's why I'm inclined not to use the word toxic, because trust me, and as developers, Bloody Game Reviews can tell you too, probably. There's a lot of toxicity going on in the wider landscape of gaming. We're a young platform. We're trying to, get our walking or sea legs together and all that other stuff. So it's a little bit of bickering about, an initiative here and an initiative there. But I feel ultimately we're going to get it back together. So a lot of positive vibes. And this is positive stuff right here from our good friends at Mantis.Games. So if you guys could, in the chat, give them a round of applause, man. I was so excited to see this because it just increases the opportunity that the games that you want to see, hashtag bring it to Stadia, are going to come to fruition. So shout out to you guys.
Now, hey, what did I say before the show, man? Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, so he said, they said, what was the hashtag is Stadia 100. And basically now you got to explain what it is now. He got
that right. It's hashtag bring it to Stadia. When people in the Stadia community see games that they like, they go to hashtag bring it to Stadia. I see. This is the importance of hashtags. I know what they're going to do. They're going to look at that hashtag and likely say, hey, look, we can help. That's why Stadia 100. This is kind of separate. That's why we putting Stadia 100 out there for those that want Stadia specific content, not necessarily conversations, but content. They can put in hashtag Stadia 100 and get that content because a lot of people have been asking for that. Our good friends at Mantis Games, now that they're aware of hashtag Bring It to Stadia, guess what these good brothers and sisters can do? They can go to Twitter, put in hashtag Bring It to Stadia, look at all those games and say, oh yeah, we can help you port that and reach out to those developers. So that's why we did hashtag Stadia 100, and that's why the different hashtags are useful. But yeah, that's what the hashtag is, our good friends. It's hashtag Bring It to Stadia. And they said, going to start replying to cool indies with our service. Oh, there you go. Absolutely. There you go. Round of applause, people. This is great. This is positive vibes. Great stuff. I love it.
It's all about.
I love
what
it.
It's all about, man. Oh, hey, what did I say before the show, man? You never know what, man. You never know what.
You never know. You never know who's watching. We always
never know who's
people.
watching, who's listening. You know what I'm saying? I have always said that from the beginning, man. But anyway,
let's continue on. We had to, at Mantis Games, we threw our schedule out of whack because what you guys announced today was, or that we found out about today was so fantastic. Shout out to Aminor, the ultimate Stadia hater, but he's a true supporter with the $10. He said #1 fan. Oh, don't try to brown nose now because we got Mantis in here, Aminor.
Man, Aminor is always real, man. One thing he's been is real, and that's the thing.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Aminor is
appreciate
just,
that.
Hey, what would the community be without you?
We're running short on time, so if I could cover real quick, Storm, this thing that's going on with the chips, the microchips, in the chip shortage. And I did a video on this channel earlier today, but I definitely wanted to pick your brain about it because I wanted to get your thoughts. And I know a lot of people want to hear what Project Storm has to say about this before we start wrapping up. Let me do this. Let me show you something. Chip shortage will last beyond 2022 as demand far outstrips supply, Intel chief says. Just to read you an excerpt, they said, let me see, semiconductor companies can take some short-term steps to alleviate some of the pain. Pat Gelsinger said in an interview, adding that Intel aims to boost production of automotive chips, and other chips within 6 to 9 months, but a full solution to the problem will take much longer. He said, quote, "We do believe we will have the ability to help." And as Gelsinger said, who recently took over as CEO of the U.S.'s largest revenue semiconductor company, but I think this is a couple of years until you are totally able to address it. It just takes a couple of years to build capacity. So being that he said that, and then I was listening to Twit, which is a great network. I urge everybody that is into tech to listen to Twit. They were having this conversation too. They're going to have this big summit. President Biden said he's going to throw $1 billion at this, but this is something that $1 billion ain't going to solve overnight. A check ain't going to do nothing, as they said on Twit. So if you look at that and you look at the fact that, yes, server racks are going to need chips too, but places like Stadia and GFN, they got server racks on deck. So they may not be able to take the full capacity of people that want new consoles, but they'll be able to take a large chunk. What do you think the advent of that, the advent of cloud gaming, that you don't need a specific new device in order to indulge in your favorite games that our good friends at Mantis Games are going to help port over? What do you think how big is that in the advent of these chips being hard to come across?
Listen, when we as Stadia founders and, those who are on the platform right now, right, the Stadia inquisitors, as I like to call them, right, who were curious about Stadia as a technology and whether it could work for them and all that stuff, right, and cloud gaming as a whole, put it like that. So, man, we didn't have a whole lot of ammo to combat all of that nonsense in the beginning, right? But now when you think about the fact that, now we have a pandemic that's real, that's definitely the affected development cycles and all this stuff, man, have shaken up the industry in different ways that we never imagined, right? So you're thinking about all of these and see, this is a discussion that we have. And shout out to Snow Bunny, y'all. Snow Bunny Gaming from Yin Meets Yang of Gaming Podcast, my sister, man. Yep. She said, Storm, I tell you what, You're so worried about these consoles like the Series X and the PS5, Storm, but I'm here to tell you that I don't think that they're going to be ready. It's going to last longer than 2021.
Yes, you sure
I
did.
said, I said, Bunny, what are you talking
Sure
about?
did.
Nah, man, these companies are going to get it together. Phil Spencer had already told us that they have so many that they could produce in a certain number of time and all that stuff. So it sounded real positive. But now, man, the reality set in, MM2K, and I'm glad you brought this up, right? And I will try to keep it as short as I can, and we'll elaborate in the after show if we need to. But look, this is huge, man, for Stadia itself as being one of the most, I think, in my opinion, and again, it's just because we're heavily embedded in the Stadia community, right? We know Geforce now. We play Geforce now. You know, I play Shadow, you know, Luna, all of them, right? I played Shadow, but Luna I still play, and others I still play PSN, right? It's huge to know that Stadia really doesn't have to worry about that right now because they don't have to launch a next gen box or anything like that, or a box at all. You know, the new CCUs, that's in-house. I don't know, like that's not going to directly affect their new Google TVs. I mean, so this is big, man. It's really big, and it's a message that you cannot argue with when it comes to the hardware talk versus the cloud talk. I don't know what else to say, man. If it's a feel-good situation for those who believe in Stadia or the cloud in the first place, it's a huge win, I think. But for the console gamers who are just like they traded in everything and they saved to get this hardware, and you know, unfortunately, the situation happened that occurred, and now it's putting things into better perspective for them. I think for some of them, like, man, you know what? Is it time for my Xbox to go ahead and ramp up the development of xCloud or whatever? And should I check out Stadia right now? Let me see what this Stadia thing is about that they keep tweeting about on Twitter all the time and Reddit, talking about it so heavily on Reddit and other places, right?
Yeah.
Is it finally time? So, it's safe to say that, and we've seen stories, like real stories of people who were saying, I'm done acting like Stadia is not good. I'm done acting like it's not real. Like I can't play games like Cyberpunk and stuff. We've seen that over and over. So I don't know, man. I think it's a huge topic for a huge discussion.
Gotcha. There, Bloody Games Reviews is putting some great stuff here in the chat. They say that and this is what makes their services very important. The biggest hurdle for devs to bring games to Stadia is getting support from Google when you're bringing a game to Xbox. Microsoft foots the bill for the dev costs. When you have a good VR game, Oculus helps pay for the hours it costs to port to Quest 2. But it seems like Stadia is focusing too much on AAA still. For the millions they pay Ubisoft to port Odyssey of Valhalla, they can port hundreds of indies. Now, what do you think about the Makers program, though? I mean, and we can talk about that in the interview too. If they, I'm not that familiar with the Makers program, but or is it your thought that maybe they should invest a little bit more in the Makers program to help bring more games over? That's an interesting thought, and we could definitely talk about that. But that's some great stuff that you're putting out there. I'm sorry, Storm, but go ahead, continue. I just wanted to point shade light.
And that's right in line with what we've been talking about, man. We've been talking about the money that was spent, and they all do it. All the companies do it. You know, they lock things up behind exclusivity walls and stuff these days. So I mean, it's definitely something to think about. I know I am. I'm thinking about it right now. Actually, it's a good point.
Yep.
Yeah.
They also talk about a subscription model being possible. Or if a subscription model was available day one, it would have been a different story. I kind of find that difficult for them to have done. Because you got to have, here's and this is just my thought process, and this will lead to such an interesting discussion. I can't wait. My thought process is, what Xbox has in their favor with Game Pass is they have a catalog 30 years deep of games, right? So when Game Pass first launched, it was launched with a bunch of old games, you know, just to get the service churning and get it started, right? Yeah. And remember, when Game Pass first launched, it was a joke. Like, nobody wanted it. Like, people would get $5 for Game Pass tokens and stuff, and nobody wanted it. It wasn't until really mid last year that I think people really was like, oh, okay, Game Pass might be a decent deal. And then it really picked up steam this year as far as mind share. So yeah, outlets like Xbox, PlayStation, even Nintendo, they got a catalog where Stadia doesn't have a catalog. So it's kind of hard for them to come out with that in my mind because they didn't already make money off of those a la carte sales for them to be able to then say, okay, well, we're going to work with you again and put this in a subscription service. They would have had to simply rely on the subscription service while footing this upfront cost to have all these games in a subscription service where, again, Xbox and PlayStation had the luxury of making so much money themselves and helping the developers and publishers make so much money for them to come back and say, oh yeah, man, we just killed it making all that money on GTA 5, huh? Yeah, we sure did. Hey, why don't we, throw you an extra such and such, and we'll put it in our subscription service. Google doesn't have that luxury. So, that's just my thought. But an interesting discussion nonetheless to have. So, with that being said, I think the semiconductor issue is big for cloud gaming and Stadia altogether. Just like you said, that Snow Bunny said, they just got to be poised. They got to get, and that's where where they're talking about in the chat. You got to kind of have those games that people want. You got to have those. Now, whether it be AAA or indie, like you got games like Valheim, right? That's not a AAA game, but people want that. So you got to have help, like our good friends at Mantis, internal help, whatever it may be, to help churn out the porting process for said games and get them over to Stadia ASAP. That's very, very important because if you're going to take advantage of this, then what you don't want to do is you don't want to make it feel like that someone's giving up a serious trade-off. Okay, I can't get access to a console. I got to get this Stadia thing, but dang, they don't got the games that I want to play. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta like do that churning process. So I kind of understand where they're coming from, where they might have a big focus on those AAA games because, like I said earlier, Storm, but like how we were talking about this porting process, did Stadia probably foresee this whole situation with the chips not being accessible and said, this is something we can take advantage of. And in order for us to take advantage of it, we got to free up money. And in order for us to free up money, unfortunately, we got to dissolve SG&E. Because if people can't access these games or these game consoles until 2022, that's an opportunity for us. Let's hurry up and get these games over here. What do you think? You think Google kind of foresaw this storm? What are your thoughts?
Possibly. Again, they have dialogue, I think, across the industry. I'm not in the industry, but I do know that I've seen people from different camps having conversations and stuff and doing, interviews and discussions together and things like that. And so much so that the gamers themselves of those platforms have called it out, and some of them look at it as like a breach of trust or something. So I don't know, man. I think it just makes sense. I mean, who knows what goes on behind the scenes? I mean, it's just something that makes sense in my mind. So I'm going with it.
Yep. Awesome. This chat is alive. It is alive. Bloody Game Reviews came in here and turned the chat upside down. This is great stuff. I love it. Thank you guys so much. I am very hopeful on the future, not just of Stadia, but cloud gaming altogether. I think that they probably did foresee this. I mean, hey, when the pandemic came, they readily snapped out of oblivion and put out the free tier. You know what I'm saying? So maybe they were starting to see, hold on. Poll after poll after poll shows that people want us to port their favorite games over, not create our own experiences. They don't care about that yet. And look at our biggest reception to date, Cyberpunk 2077. All that extra stock that we had, pew, gone because of just one game. What if we can do our best to replicate that process over and over and over again? Yeah, we're going to have to, make a big divergence in what we do. You know what I'm saying? So, no, great stuff. Definitely. Any closing thoughts before I finish off with some good vibes and then we wrap up, Storm?
No, I mean, I think we covered a lot of what we wanted to talk about today. it's just I'm just hyped, man. I'm amazed. I'm amazed by what we're even considering, what we're even having a discussion about right now. We're talking cloud gaming. We're talking about the porting process and the fact that developers are trying to get on board. The fact that Google is listening to these developers and trying to work with them in ways to get more games on the platform shows that they don't intend to kill the platform right now. It's just, I mean, logically, if you're going by logic and what makes sense, it just does not sound that way for all those people that's still running with that narrative. It just doesn't sound that way. So what I'm doing is enjoying the hell out of the games and the technology and everything that Stadia offers and cloud gaming as a whole. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. So those are my closing thoughts right there.
Absolutely. And shout out to Bloody Game Reviews, part of the CM4.
Good, bloody good reviews. You keep saying game reviews, man.
Oh, bloody good reviews. My bad. Bloody good reviews. CM4 Mantis Games. Like I said, with the hashtag Bring It to Stadia, these good people are looking to port games to Stadia. Like they say in the chat, they're looking to increase the portfolio. That's excellent stuff. Help them in that process. You guys always put out there, which is great stuff. Bring it to hashtag Bring It to Stadia. Put in hashtag Bring It to Stadia and say, hey, these guys can possibly help. Mantis. Hold on, let me get the link for you, and I'll put it in the chat again. It is mantis.games. I can't even pronounce that. Y'all know me. I butcher stuff. I'm just gonna put the chat in here.
Put it out there. Put it out there so I don't have to worry about it.
And do that in culmination with the hashtag bring it to Stadia. All right. Great stuff. All right. With that said, I want to close out with this before we go to the after party, because Storm doesn't have much time and we only want to have a few moments in the after party. Now, earlier this week, tensions kind of came to a boil, right? First and foremost, let me say this. I want to thank you all so much for the positive reception, the overwhelming positive reception that not just because I didn't create this, I'm just part of the group that really saw a need out there, wanted to do something about it. This is not an MM2K thing. I just put the video out there first because I work from home. But you know what I'm saying? So, the overwhelming positive reception that we got from the Stadia 100 campaign. And again, for those of you that missed that campaign is all about simply spreading awareness to Stadia content. I remember one of the biggest things that I felt was beneficial in coming to this community as a content creator and as a consumer of content is knowing where to go to find Stadia stuff. I love playing on Stadia, but when I can't play on Stadia, I love listening and hearing about Stadia and watching Stadia gameplay. That's just the way that's how much I love the console. I mean, that's how much I love the platform.
Oh, and, hey, you said it twice. Now I've been messing up all show. I'm glad to hear you mess up again, bro. I'll give you a pass.
So, and that's what I was gonna say. Please give me a pass. But I love to see it, and that's there's nothing wrong with that. There's people that love Xbox, so they go and they watch RDX while they're not playing Xbox or We Bleed Green or whatever. Shout out to them. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being a fan of a consumer product or service, like Clive showed you. He loves Converse. There's nothing wrong with that. So we used to celebrate that at the beginning of this platform's launch. We used to celebrate it in unison. And over time, as content creators, we started to dissipate from that idea, and we don't celebrate it the way that we used to. Mm-hmm. And, there's been some bickering. I'm not going to say toxic, but there's been some bickering. And in that bickering and in us, hunkering down to our own hub, Storm, people have been reaching out to you and me, and they've been saying, where can I find said content? Where can I find this? Where can I find that? And it finally got to a point to where we were hearing it so much, we said, we got to get together. We got to do something. So what we're doing is part of that effort. It's part of the effort. We don't own the effort. Let's all do it as a community. As part of the effort is hashtag Stadia 100. Just like our good friends at Mantis Games was saying, hey, what's that hashtag? Because I want to find out games that people want to bring to Stadia so we can look it up. And the same thing, for those that want Stadia content, hashtag Stadia 100 is your gateway. Now, we had a situation where there's a little bit of feistiness. And again, I'm not going to call it toxicity.
Yeah.
And some people took the Stadia 100 hashtag to mean something different.
Right.
In that misunderstanding, it led to things being said that then started to intimidate people from wanting to use hashtag Stadia 100 because they were like, oh, I don't want to get involved in this. And people started pinging me separately. And because they were pinging me separately and acknowledging this to me, I got upset. I was really upset. I told you, I'm not lying. I'm not making this stuff up. I ain't got to lie about video games. Me and my wife got into a fight at the restaurant that we were in because I was so enraged by what I...
argument, because see, fights are different than arguments, man. You got into an argument.
No, you don't know my wife. I got into a I got into a fight. You don't know my wife.
Now, I know your wife, Division 2 stream, y'all. We got to go back to that stream that day.
Yeah. So if you see that Division 2 stream, you're going to know it was a fight, and I was on the losing end of that. As always. But anyway, yeah, so, and that upset me. So we had and I want to say this, shout out to Avery. Avery had a thought process. I had a thought process. Both of our thought processes were fueled by a misunderstanding of some things, right? So some things were said and I responded yesterday. But then Avery was the bigger man, and I want to applaud Avery. He came out yesterday, he sat with our good friend Cowboy that's in the chat, and he clarified some things. He didn't sit there and try to make excuses and made it about himself. He came out and said, look, I feel the way that I feel, and I'm not going to apologize about how I feel. However, I do acknowledge that even though I meant this, the energy that I came with caused this. And for that, I want to back away from, apologize, clarify, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Avery. Because he's being the bigger man and he did that step, I have a newfound set of respect for him. Avery could have went out there and said MM2K is the worst. Oh my God, all this other stuff. No, even though I said what I said yesterday, he took it like a champ, came on Cowboy Show and made a clarification and didn't skip a beat. Was like, my skin is made out of Teflon. I'm not sweating it. So because of that, I got a newfound respect for my brother. And because he took that step, I'm going to take the step too. I'm going to apologize because I had a conversation with some people as well, and some things were behind a lot of the tension that I didn't even realize. I didn't even understand and realize, but now I do. So now that I understand, and my brother Avery understands, and people have been having conversations, and Avery, I didn't forget about you. I made a promise. I'm going to talk to you. We're going to talk. That I want to do, me personally, I know Storm feels the same way. We want to just do a new beginning. We want to highlight the great stuff about. Go ahead, Storm. Go ahead.
Man, I was going to say, man, it's time to make this content for the people, y'all. It's time to show people what the community is really about, because a lot of people actually skated after they realized that, they came in at the wrong time, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They came in at the wrong time.
That's so
unfortunate, man. So now we're just trying to do this thing over again and keep it going in the direction of gaming and brother and sisterhood or whatever. That's where we're trying to take this. And that's where it should have been in the first place, if you ask me. You know what I mean? But hey, things happen. We're human beings. So I'm glad you all were able to put that aside. It was no hard feelings for me. That's why, again, I don't really block a lot of people. I don't ban a lot of people. It is what it is. Some people do. That's your right. That's your freedom. But yeah, I'm already looking past it. That's why I dropped so many videos while y'all are out here talking and bickering and stuff. I'm dropping videos.
So what I want to say is that, again, I had a conversation with some people. Be on the lookout. We're going to be doing some positive things. We're going to be doing some unification things. So definitely, and we're going to do it in decency and order in due time. But the most important thing is that we have dialogue and we kind of understand each other. And I think that's what is the great thing that's going to come out of this. And again, I'm not going to use the word toxic. I'm not even going to use it at a small scale. There was some bickering back and forth between, content creators, maybe some community members. Some people take it to levels that they shouldn't. They act a little weird about it. But as far as toxic is concerned, this community, the way that it was started, I give kudos to the people that were here from the beginning because of the standard set when it was started. You don't see toxicity. Y'all don't know toxicity. Toxicity, again, is when you get DDoS, your information gets released. Like if somebody were to find out who I am in real life, knowing that it's going to hurt me if you put that stuff out on the internet, because I explained to you guys why and put it out there anyway. Put out pictures of my kids, threaten my life. I done had plenty of DMs doing what I'm doing for PlayStation and Xbox where people threaten my life. I had people call me up threatening me at work, finding out my information. People have been memed. They've gone on TV. I mean, not TV, but gone on social media. Please stop. And people don't care. People have threatened the lives of console executives because MLB is now multiplat. That's the the toxicity that you see on a regular basis out there in the bigger ethos. We're nowhere near that. Okay? So I stand firmly against that word just being thrown, whether it's in large scale or small scale. And don't believe any notion that it's worse or this element is worse here. No, it is not. If you want to, I can just come talk to me in a DM and I will show you true toxicity. Not someone just sending you a DM saying, I don't know, like you. I'm talking about life-threatening stuff on a regular basis and internet harassment on a regular basis. I've been in situations where people have pulled out pistols live on air because they were mad that somebody didn't agree with them. I was on a podcast with the homie Dirk Griggity where it just within the first 5 minutes the language just got so toxic. That's toxic. Yeah. So I don't stand right with that word being thrown in with this community at all because we're nowhere near that. But there is a problem with the bickering that we do need to address. And I can rest assured that there are those of us within the Stadia community that are working together to resolve that. And trust me, I'm very confident it's going to get resolved. And we're making the first steps to do that. And I just want to say, Avery, shout out to you. Shout out to Stadia Source. Love you guys. Love your work. And the great stuff that you do for not only for Stadia, but for the broader cloud community. You know what I'm saying? And rest assured that Stadia 100 is not a gatekeeping effort. It's for everybody to use for great initiatives like we're going to see with Mantis Games and other stuff. So just to keep that all in perspective, and those are my thoughts, and shout out to everybody. This is a new slate, new board. We're going to work on positivity. For those that want to mumble and grumble about us or about the platform, they can do that in their own corners. I have nothing to say about it. But go ahead, Storm. My bad before we close out.
Nah, that's it. Nah, I mean, we can pretty much close out. You know what I mean? Because I think we touched on everything we wanted to. You know, there's a way you have to handle things. Like you saw me, MM2K. We went over, had a good conversation with Rick Tone and the crew. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that was good. That's how things should be handled right there. It turned out to be a great show. That was fun for everybody at the end. You know what I mean? So, but I'm it. I mean, that's it. That's it for me. I'm just going to keep it real.
I was sitting there watching G Billy, and he said with the $2. Shout out to G Billy, and he says
I'm looking at Cesar Perez. After that, I want to highlight Cesar Perez.
G Million says toxic people don't get laid, and Aminor with the $5 says I get laid. All right, if you say so, Aminor.
Right. And I check this out. So Cesar Perez said, "Damn, dudes came out with the pistols like Yosemite Sam."
Yeah, bruh, I will show. It was the big. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people in this community. I know Storm got to go, so let me shut up. I'm gonna say this real quick. A lot of people in this community, you guys are isolated. That's community members and content creators too. You guys are isolated from how the broader landscape of the gaming community works. I remember we was on a show with Kiefer and all them, and I said, y'all know who King Thrash is, and this person is, and their mouth was wide open like, oh. Y'all are insulated.
One of them said, yeah. I mean, somebody said, yeah.
Somebody said, yeah. Somebody in the chat. I think somebody in the chat said, yeah. But from the broader landscape, you guys are insulated from what's going on. It's like us being Amish, and then we finally get released into the greater world. It's like, oh my. So believe you me, trust me. on the grander scale of things, there's some bickering, there's some stuff that, yeah, it needs to stop. We got to get a better understanding of each other. But I'm very cautious of using the word toxic with this community because I love you guys so much. And I know from experience it doesn't apply. And I was like that last year when something on a smaller scale happened. And I'm like that now. You know what I mean? So that's all I got to say.
Yeah.
With that said,
overall, man, do your research. Like I always say, look at how much positivity is out there, y'all. Look how many content creators like Sonny and Bill and Lloyd and so many Jim State, so many out there, man, that's just making dope content and not even worrying about all that extra stuff. So anyway, but we got to wrap up though, y'all.
We got to wrap up. All right, y'all. With that said, Storm, what you want to do? 5 minutes, or do you even have that? Or no?
We could do 5 to 10. Let me see. We could do 5 to 10.
Yeah, it's a quarter to. All right. We're going right now over to the after show. If you want access to the after show, hit that join button. You got to be a member, a Dose member, I believe it is. That's the middle tier. You got to be a middle tier or top tier member in order to access the after show. Just hit that join button in order to do that. For those of you that are already part of the member community, we'll see you over there. Peace.
Peace, y'all. Hell of a show.